So then, my next question: does the farm have any way of actively promoting environmental justice issues?
Well, I'm sure you know, on social media.
Mhm.
I don't do that. My daughter who works for me does it.
Well, I mean, I could say your website is kind of a promotional thing for environmental justice. You guys do explain how your meat is all processed and packaged in USDA inspected facilities.
Okay, and clothes and so forth. So
Yeah.
all right.
So yeah. And then we kind of touched upon this earlier. What are 3 important ways in which your farm contrasts with factory farming? So, like, what are the practices you do that are?
Probably not. And in factory farming, so it's interesting because beef-wise in this day and age, a lot of farms do cow-calf operations where they bird the calves. Calves are with the mom for 6 months or so, and then they go to the feedlot operation. So they're, you know, the whole point is to put that weight on as fast as you can.
Mhm.
And so by concentrating them and feeding them as much as they'll eat, you know, that's where they're going to gain 2 or 3 pounds a day, which is the goal that most beef producers are looking for. And that is factory farming, because it's like boom, 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 boom. You're trying to get it all to there. We let them live their natural life. You know, they're out on grass. They might not be putting on 2 pounds a day, but to me, they're being what a cow should be. They're not in some holding facility with the food rolling in front of them. They're doing what cows should do.
Mhm.
So I really believe in the way we get to raise them. And it's not to say that factory farming is wrong, because I'm not sure that this kind of operation could feed the nation, never
Yeah.
mind the world. But I also think that we could really change a lot of our industrial farming.
Mhm.
We don't use chemicals on the fields. We're putting our own compost back on the fields. We do use fish oil to help. You know, a lot of it is all about soil health, and so you're trying to keep soils healthy at all times.
Mhm.
And it works for whatever species you're raising, whether it's plant or animal.
Mhm.
Healthy soils is kind of what it comes down to. So,
Mhm.
and I just think as a nation, we really need to start to look at that. You know, you go back to the history of the Dust Bowl, that was poor farming. You know, that's the beginning of desertification. And we're having that happen in a lot of these regions
Mhm.
because of our lack of water and our farming practices. And
Yeah.
I like to think that we're trying to mitigate that a little bit in
Mhm.
this area. So.
Well, that's very good. So again, you say on your website that all your meat is processed and packaged in USDA inspected facilities. In your opinion, why don't all farms adhere to the standards?
So it usually goes by state regulations, and that's what's required in Rhode Island. But if you go to upstate or go to New York, they require state inspected facilities, which is not, I think it's still a well monitored facility, but that's their requirement. And there does need to be some oversight there and regulation, because you're selling to the public.
Mhm.
Whereas there are custom processors around. You go to Tiverton and have an animal done at Manchester's, and that's just for you, and it's going to say in the package not for resale, and that's fine if somebody wants to do that. But if I'm selling it to the customers, I do want some oversight saying that this meat was clean and healthy, and you know, or not affected. And so the FDA thing is you know, there's a point at which the government does need to kind of be overseeing it all. You know, same with licensing in my shop, and is it clean enough to sell meat from, that kind of thing. So, all right, we're going to drive back up there.